everybody, welcome to my plant channel. My name is Stephanie and today I'm going to be giving you some good tips on beginner plants and things that I wish I would have known when I first started collecting plants. So this is strictly just a episode for the newbies. So I first started getting into planting simply I just wanted to decorate my back patio. I envisioned this little jungle looking back patio. So I went to all the big box stores at Walmart that were local to me, Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, and got some plants from there. I knew nothing about planting, so I did add some local plant groups on Facebook and got some care tips from that. I learned so much. I did a lot of research. Each plant that I would get from a big box store, I would just simply Google it and find all the care it needs for that plant. There's the top three things I'm going to share with you that's very important when you're first getting into plants. The first one is going to be your soil mixes. Okay, so when you first get your plant from a big box store, not your nursery usually, but a big box store as in Walmart, the plants that you're getting are, I promise you, they are not in a good quality soil mixture. And from personal experience, when I've gotten such a big amount of plants from your big box stores, I ended up with a fungus gnat infestation. So I quickly learned that the quality of soil that they come in is not the greatest. So do your research on what kind of state the plant likes to be in. Does it like to dry out quickly? Does it like to stay on the moist side? Then you're going to want to repot your plant in a very good quality soil. So the soil that I currently use for all my plants is Happy Frog soil potting mix. You can usually get that, I think, from your local nursery. I'm not sure if the big box stores carry it. I'm assuming they do. I do get that soil, and I do a mixture of the potting soil, perlite, orchid bark, and horticultural charcoal. I cannot tell you what ratios those are. I kind of just eyeball it, and whatever I think is best for the plant, that's usually what I will do. So you want to do a really good airy mix for your indoor plants. I had all my basic plants, beginner plants, in this mixture, and they were thriving, growing nonstop. It was just great. And that is currently what I use, I would say the same mixture for my rare plants as well. My plants love it. The next thing, number 2 on the list, is going to be watering. Plants appreciate watering schedules. This is my personal experience. I am not a botanist. I am not a licensed nursery caretaker, planter person. I'm just a collector. And so the plant watering schedule works best for me and my plants. My plants love it, and I don't have a overwatering issue. So if you can and you find a really good watering schedule for you and your plants, I would stick to that. The next thing that saved me that goes along with watering is using a watering moisture meter. You can get those from Amazon. They're not very expensive. They're like $20, I would say about $20. Very, very simple to use. They will come with a long metal probe. You stick that into about 3 inches deep into a soil, the top 3 inches, and it will read dry, moist, or wet. You stick that in there about 3 inches, and if it says dry or it's starting to dry out, that's an indication that your plant will need watering. There are other indications besides using that, that your plant needs to be watered. I'll probably make another plant video going more into depth on that, but simply use a watering meter. It will save you, I promise you. The next thing that goes along with watering as well is fertilizer. It's not just water your plant and you're gonna expect it to just grow so beautifully. Plants need plant food. So the one that I use, it's called Dynagrow Foliage Pro. Got it from Amazon, not too expensive. It's a smaller bottle, but it lasts a really long time. So find a fertilizer that works for you, but I recommend that one 100%. I use it for all my really rare plants, and I've used it for just normal plants or my string plants. Like this one's gotten so long and I watered with the same. So find a good fertilizer, and you want to find something that's not so crazy because you will burn your plants. So do your research, find a good one. Like I said, I recommend Dynagrow Foliage Pro on Amazon. I'm not sponsored, but I can tell you that that is the best fertilizer that I've used so far. And a little bit goes a long way. You do not want to get over fertilized because you will burn your plants or just horrible things will happen. So the next thing is pots. You want to make sure that whatever pot your plant is in has very good drainage. A lot of people like to use these fancy expensive pots. It looks so cute but has no drainage hole. Let's just chance it. No, find a good plant pot with good drainage. What I recommend doing, what I do for all my plants, I use them I keep them in the regular nursery pots that they come in. They usually have really good drainage on the bottom, and I will stick them into a little bit bigger pot that has, you know, whatever, a fancy pot. You can stick it in there and nobody will know. Nobody will know. Just put it in there and it looks pretty, but when it's time to water, you take it out and it's got the really good drainage, your plant is not gonna rot. The last thing for now that I will recommend is airflow. You want really good airflow for your plants. I messed up buying, in the beginning, I messed up, I think I bought this grow tent, kept it closed, put all my plants in there with a humidifier because, you know, plants thrive in humidity. So I did that for extra humidity. Humidity percentage in my home is about 50%. And that's not good enough for my plants to thrive. So I put them all up in this tent, closed the thing, had no fans at the time, so there was no airflow, nothing to rotate the air, and left it closed in there with humidity. Oh God, it was horrible. A lot of my plants died and rotted. So if you're planning on getting a special grow tent as the one in the background that I have, no matter what you're planning, what kind of plant home you're trying to get, make sure you do add fans. This tent I have here, I'll do a different video on a little tour of it, but each plant shelf, there's about 4, has at least 1 fan. So there's constant rotating air. I do have a humidity humidifier in there that goes on about all day, and I have humidity meter, and this will tell you where your humidity is at, so you're able to keep an eye on it. And that's pretty much sums it up for your basic plant care. Actually, one more thing that I will throw in this video is you do want to start doing research and make sure you have it on hand, some type of pest control spray or something, a pest control that you can either water, put it in the soil and water your plants. There's all sorts of different ones out there, but you do want something that's going to give you some good pest control, because plants do get pests, and there's so many pests that, you know, you can come in contact with your plants. So the one that I use is going to be, I think it's called Dr. I forgot what it's called. Oh, Captain Jack's. It's called Captain Jack's bug spray. I also got that on Amazon, and I spray it with, I spray it all over my plant, top, bottom, leaves, every watering. And that is, you know, being responsible type of, you know, scheduling. You have to have a pest control scheduling. If you don't do it every watering, you're going to want to spray down your plant, make sure you're wiping all the leaves, top and bottom, the stems. You're going to make sure you want to do that on a schedule, so if not every time you water, every other time you water. So I do use Captain Jack's bug spray on all my plants. It doesn't burn the leaves. I don't have any problems with it. And so far so good. It does really well. I also do use, I use it every other month as of right now. It's called Azimax Pest Control insecticide on Amazon as well. And I just follow the instructions on that product, and I mix it in the water, and I just water my plants with it only every other month, because it is a strong solution. It's not very organic, but it does do the job, and I haven't had any issues with my plants, and so far so good. So let's keep on hoping that it stays like that. So those are going to be my top top care tips for you if you're just beginning with your plants. If you end up in the very, very dark hole like I did and start collecting rare plants, you already, you know, have the experience from these basic plants that you get at the big box stores, and then you'll feel comfortable enough to start collecting more rare plants. If you do start getting into the more rare plants, and you don't feel comfortable or knowledgeable on the care tips, I will say that philodendron plant species are very, very beginner friendly. They don't require too much. I water them, all my plants actually. I have all these rare plants behind me on a watering schedule. They all get watered every week. You know, every 7 days they get watered. And this is a philodendron pink princess. This is in very high demand all over the place. You can find them for pretty much cheap now, and I think even some big box stores are starting to duplicate plants, you know, in their science labs, and you can get them for $50, I think. This is a philodendron pink princess that I have here. Super easy to care for, nothing too crazy. I keep all these plants under these grow lights here, and they have the extra humidity in the tent, and they're very easy. Just once every week, water them. I do my pest control little scheduling on them, and they do very well. So philodendrons are really, really good plant species. If you want to start and get into the more rare plants, I would suggest going with this species, and then just going from there. It's all about learning. So do your research. I've been collecting plants. This is going to be my 2nd year now, and I can't tell you how many questions I've Googled on for my plants. Googled them, asked on Facebook groups. I've learned on plant videos from like TikTok or Instagram, whatever. There's so many different platforms on people giving tips on how to care for plants. So don't be scared. Just jump right in it. Try. It's all trial and error. I do suggest starting off with these basic big box store plants first. Get the hang of things, then you can move on up and, you know, be a little crazy and get something like this. So that is it for today. Thank you for tuning in to my very first plant episode. For all the newbies, I hope this was enough information for you. If you have any questions, you can message me, comment on this video, and I will be sure to try and answer your questions as good as I can. And please just like and share my video, and I will be coming up with more videos to hopefully you know, make your planting a positive experience. So thank you guys, and I will see y'all next time.